Hey everybody, welcome back to another video. My name's Justin and I'm the founder of a small independent game studio called ePlay Studios. So today's video I want to talk about my experiences with a company called Skillz and how I monetize my games through them. So Skillz is a mobile esports platform. What it does, it basically allows you to host real money tournaments inside of your game. And it's an alternative way to monetize your game besides the use of ads or in-app purchases. How it actually works is that when players enter into tournaments, they have to pay an entry fee, and the developer basically is part of that entry fee, and also Skillz gets the other part of the entry fee. So it is a 50-50 revenue split with Skillz. So what attracted me to Skillz? Basically, I've always been really competitive since I was a kid. I played a lot of sports, and even when I was younger, my dad always would incorporate prizes into for instance, when you take us for miniature golf, he would always put up like a cash prize for the kid who wins, or if we played pool or something like that. So maybe it's just in my DNA that I'm really competitive. But yeah, I really enjoy making competitive games. I think they're great and really engaging for the audience. So what are some of the things I like about Skillz? I like that it's a non-invasive way to monetize your games. Because as we all know, a lot of games, players are bombarded with ads, and this really takes away from the experience that the player has in the game. So with Skillz, you're actually adding value where people can actually compete and win prizes, whereas with ads it detracts from the value of the game, and honestly it just pisses people off when some games have a lot of ads spammed every couple minutes. So that's the first thing I really like about them. The second thing is Skillz is actually like the mobile leader in mobile esports at the moment. So as you can imagine, they have a really big player base of Skillz players, and what is great when you do become a Skillz developer is that you can take advantage of all the big player base and have that funneled into your own game, because there's literally millions of Skillz players around the world always looking for new Skillz games, and yeah, it's definitely something I've taken advantage of when I joined Skillz. So another thing I also really like about them is that when I started to gain traction, they actually assigned me like a success team, which is a group of people who kind of guides you into best practices on how to make really good games for the Skillz platform. This was really a game changer for me, because these are industry veterans from really big game companies, and they really know their stuff. So they have been guiding me on what to do and what to avoid when I do build new titles, and I've really learned a lot, especially since I've only been developing games for about 4 years now. So yeah, during this time I've learned a lot of invaluable information about game design. So what are some of the drawbacks about using Skillz in your games? The first one I can think of is that Skillz games are not allowed on the Google Play Store. So if you are one of the developers who are used to publishing on the Google Play Store, you might find it a bit difficult to get around this in publishing your Android games. But I've found personally that to overcome this, I just host the APK on my website. Of course, the conversion rates aren't going to be as good as the Google Play Store, as well as the traffic, because with Android devices, you get a lot of security pop-ups when you download third-party APKs. So it's one of those things that tends to turn people off when downloading the Android version. But I must say, over the last couple of years, I have built up a decent enough base of Android players. So it takes a little bit more time and patience. But on the Apple App Store, there's absolutely no problem with hosting Skillz games. As long as you have a business developer account, there's no problems. Another thing to consider when using Skillz in your game is that your game has to be 100% skill based. So there can't be any elements of luck or chance. this would be considered gambling, and you won't get approved for cash tournaments in your game. So just bear in mind that your game has to be 100% skill based, and no gambling games are allowed. So another thing is that your games have to be really high quality. This is important because when players are competing in tournaments inside of your game, there have to be no bugs or any bugs that can change the outcome of the game. So if your game crashes a lot, or there are tons of bugs that affect the person's performance in the game, then they're just going to delete the game, leave you a 1-star review, and never play your game again. And I learned this the hard way. In the beginning, my games weren't really great quality. They were always crashing, and I didn't really see any traction because people weren't confident enough to play for real money in my games. So just be mindful of that you have to create really good quality games. I personally think it's good because with the review process being so strict with Skillz, it forces you to actually build much higher quality games than you would get away with, let's say, just releasing a hyper casual game onto the App Store, where people don't compete for money or anything like that. So if you are looking for a way of just to make quick money, and you're one of the developers who just spam the App Store with low quality games and fill them with ads, I really wouldn't recommend using Skillz, simply for that fact that the review process to get your game cash enabled, so when they switch on cash tournaments, it is pretty strict. So yeah, that's one of the big things they look for, is your game has to be really bug free and good quality. Another thing to consider before they turn on cash tournaments in your game is that you need at least 100 daily active users. This can sound like a big number to some people, but consider that the average Skillz game has pretty decent retention. So even in the beginning, if you're not getting a lot of downloads, that player base slowly builds up over time. You can overcome this also by running paid acquisition, maybe for a couple of weeks, just to get you up to that number. But that's one thing, you have to consider, is that you need at least 100 daily players. I think it's something for a week before they will turn on the cash tournaments. So for you to get an idea of how the actual monetization works, if you have two players who enter into a tournament, let's say the prize pool is $1, they both pay an entry fee of 60 cents, so that'll bring the total to $1.20, and the winner will get $1 and Skillz will get 10 cents and you will get the other 10 cents. So obviously it depends how many tournaments are played in your games, which high stakes tournaments are played. I think once cash tournaments are enabled, they give you 3 cash tournament templates in your game. One is for $1, the other one's $5, and the other one is for $10. So if you get excited and your game has just been cash enabled, the highest prize someone can play for is $10. Might not seem a lot, but if you have thousands of tournaments being played a day, this can be quite lucrative. So would I recommend Skillz? Okay, that depends. If you are serious about building really good quality games, then yeah, I definitely recommend them. I've had some good success with them so far. I'm still seeing a lot of growth, and I plan on using them still in the future. So yeah, I've had a good experience with them. But if you are looking for kind of to make money really fast with your games and think this is a solve all problem with your monetization, then I don't think I'd recommend it. You have to keep your expectations in check, obviously. I mean, it still takes a lot of hard work and dedication to build really great games. So this is just another way you can monetize your games. And personally, this is the only way I've monetized my games, just because I really like the platform and I enjoy the competitive aspect of it. So yeah, I definitely recommend it if you're serious about making good quality games. If you guys enjoyed that video, please let me know in the comments below what type of content you'd like me to do in the future. Maybe you'd like me to go more in depth on the Skillz platform. I can also do videos on that. Yeah, so Please leave a like if you enjoyed the video, subscribe if you want, and I'll see you on the next one.